not being originally Robinson, my name really being Walter Smith, I changed my name, rather I borrowed a friend of mine's birth certificate, who was Ray Robinson, in order to obtain a boxing license. And when I become of age, I'd hope to give him his birth certificate back and his name. And I started fighting as an amateur under the name of Ray Robinson. And thanks to God, I was very successful in popularizing his name, and I had to keep it.
Is he using Smith today?
No. And for a long time, I sort of baffled my mother because of the different name. But one day, she looked in a paper and saw a picture of me, but it had Ray Robinson. And that's about the worst whipping I ever got.
Walker Smith Jr., best known as Sugar Ray Robinson, was born on May 3, 1921, in Ailey, Georgia. He is often hailed as one of the greatest boxers of all time. His journey from a modest upbringing to becoming a legendary figure in the world of boxing is a tale of determination, skill, and an unyielding passion for the sport. His fighting style was a blend of technical ability and raw power, making him a difficult opponent for anyone who stepped into the ring with him. He was not just a puncher but a tactician, capable of outthinking his opponents as much as outfighting them. Robinson was the modern definition of a versatile boxer. He was able to fight almost any style. Robinson would use his formless style to exploit his opponent's weaknesses. He also had great speed and precision. He fought in a very conventional way with a firm jab, but threw hooks and uppercuts in bouts in an unconventional way. Robinson was efficient with both hands, and he displayed a variety of effective punches. As a child, Robinson's family moved to Harlem, New York, where he was introduced to boxing at a local youth club. His early life was marked by economic trials, but the vibrant culture of Harlem provided a rich backdrop for his formative years. It was here that he adopted the name Sugar Ray Robinson. Robinson originally aspired to be a doctor, but after dropping out of high school, he switched his goal to boxing. When he was 14, he struggled to enter his first boxing match, but was told he first needed an AAU membership card, which he could not legally procure until he was 16. He circumvented the AAU's age requirement by using an ID card from a friend named Ray Robinson who had quit boxing. So, Sugar began his amateur fighting career under that name, and it stuck. Later, when a lady in the audience at a fight in Watertown, New York, said he was sweet as sugar, the name Sugar Ray Robinson was born. His exceptional performance earned him the nickname Sugar for his sweet fighting style. Robinson's presence in the ring was nothing short of electrifying. Standing at 5 feet 11 inches with a reach of 72 inches, he was known for his graceful footwork, rapid combinations, and the ability to seamlessly switch between offense and defense. He possessed incredible versatility. During his youth, Robinson idolized Henry Armstrong and Joe Louis, and actually had lived on the same block as Louis in Detroit when Robinson was 11 and Louis was 17. Robinson married Marjorie Joseph in 1938, but the marriage was annulled the same year. In 1939, their son, Ronnie Smith, was born. Robinson later married Edna Mae Holly, a dancer, in 1944, and they had a son, Ray Robinson Jr., in 1949 before divorcing in 1962. Robinson married Millie Wiggins Bruce in 1965 and settled in Los Angeles. On October 4, 1940, Robinson made his professional boxing debut, winning by a second-round stoppage against Joe Echeverria. He went on to fight 5 more times that year, winning all of them, with 4 victories by knockout. In 1941, Robinson defeated world champion Sammy Angot, future champion Marty Servo, and former champion Fritzy Zivic. The fight with Angot was held above the lightweight limit because Angot did not want to risk his lightweight title. The bout with Zivic took place at Madison Square Garden and attracted a crowd of 20,551, one of the largest in the arena's history at that time. Robinson won the first 5 rounds, before Zivic came back to land several punches to Robinson's head in the 6th and 7th. Robinson controlled the next 2, and had Zivic hurt in the 9th. After a close 10th round, Robinson was announced as the winner on all 3 scorecards. After winning 3 more fights, Robinson faced Jake LaMotta, who would become one of his more prominent rivals, for the first time in October. He defeated LaMotta by a unanimous decision, although he failed to get Jake down. Robinson then won 4 more fights, including 2 against Izzy Janazzo, from October 19th to December 14th. Robinson then defeated his childhood idol, former champion Henry Armstrong, in a fight he accepted because the older man was in need of money. Robinson later stated that he carried the aged former champion. On February 27, 1943, Robinson joined the United States Army and was referred to as Walker Smith. His military career lasted 15 months. During this time, he served alongside Joe Louis, and they traveled with the Special Services Division, putting on boxing exhibitions for U.S. Army troops. Robinson frequently faced problems in the military, clashing with superiors whom he believed were prejudiced against him. He also refused to participate in exhibition fights if African-American soldiers were not allowed to attend. In late March 1944, Robinson was stationed at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, waiting to ship out to Europe, where he was scheduled to perform more exhibition matches. But on March 29th, Robinson disappeared from his barracks. When he woke up on April 5th in Fort J Hospital on Governor's Island, he had missed his sailing for Europe and was under suspicion of deserting. Robinson was granted an honorable discharge on June 3, 1944. He later wrote that unfair press coverage of the incident had labeled him as a deserter. Despite this, Robinson maintained a close friendship with Joe Louis from their time in the military. By 1946, Robinson had fought 75 fights to a record of 73 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw, and beaten every top contender in the welterweight division. He finally got his opportunity on December 20th, 1946, against Tommy Bell. Robinson had already defeated Bell once by decision in 1945. They fought for the title vacated by Marty Servo, who had lost twice to Robinson in non-title bouts. Despite having been in a tough 10-round fight with Artie Levine just a month earlier, Robinson managed to win a close 15-round decision against Bell, securing the vacant world welterweight title. In 1948, Robinson fought 5 times, but only one of those fights was a title defense. One of his opponents in the non-title fights was future world champion Kid Gavilan. Their 10-round fight was close and controversial, with Gavilan hurting Robinson several times. But Robinson dominated the final rounds with jabs and left hooks. In 1949, Robinson fought 16 times, but again defended his title only once. In that title fight, a rematch with Gavilan, Robinson won by decision. In June 1947, Robinson was supposed to defend his championship against Jimmy Doyle. At first, Robinson didn't want to fight because he had a dream that he might kill Doyle. A priest and a minister persuaded him to go ahead with the bout. Sadly, Robinson's dream came true. On June 25, 1947, Robinson defeated Doyle with a strong knockout in the 8th round, leaving Doyle unconscious. Doyle passed away later that night. Robinson said that the impact of Doyle's death was very trying. After Doyle died, Robinson faced serious accusations in Cleveland, even of murder, though none actually materialized. When Robinson learned that Doyle had planned to use his fight earnings to buy his mother a house, Robinson later gave Doyle's mother the money from his next 4 fights so she could buy the house, fulfilling Doyle's wish. In 1950, Robinson defeated Robert Vilme. Later that year, in defense of that crown, he defeated Jose Bazora, with whom he had previously drawn. Robinson's 52nd, first-round knockout of Bazora set a record that would stand for 38 years. In October 1950, Robinson knocked out Bobo Olson, a future middleweight title holder. On February 14, 1951, Robinson and LaMotta faced off for the 6th time, famously known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Robinson claimed the undisputed world middleweight title with a 13th round technical knockout victory. Robinson won 5 of his 6 bouts with LaMotta. After winning his 2nd world title, Robinson went on a tour of Europe, traveling across the continent in his eye-catching flamingo pink Cadillac. He was accompanied by an entourage of 13 people, some just for fun. In Paris, he was celebrated as a hero for defeating LaMotta. During a fight in Berlin against Gerhard Hecht, Robinson was disqualified for knocking his opponent out with a punch to the kidney, which was legal in the US but not in Europe. The bout was later ruled a no contest. In London, Robinson lost the world middleweight title to Randolph Turpin in a thrilling match. However, 3 months later, In a rematch at the Polo Grounds in front of 60,000 fans, Robinson knocked Turpin out in the 10th round to reclaim the title. After Robinson's victory, people in Harlem celebrated by dancing in the streets. In 1951, Robinson was honored as Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year for the second time. In 1952, Robinson had a rematch with Olsen and won by decision. He then knocked out former champion Rocky Graziano in the 3rd round and challenged world light heavyweight champion Joey Maxim on June 25, 1952. After the bout with Maxim, Robinson decided to retire and relinquished his title. He ventured into show business, showcasing his talents in singing and tap dancing. However, after about 3 years, financial difficulties in his businesses and a lack of success in entertainment led him back to boxing. He resumed training in 1954. In 1955, Robinson made a comeback to boxing after being away from the ring for 2.5 years. Despite his break, his dancing kept him in great shape. He won 5 fights that year, but then lost a decision to Ralph "Tiger" Jones. He bounced back by defeating Rocky Castellani with a close split decision, and then challenged Bobo Olsen for the world middleweight title. After his successful return in 1955, Robinson expected to be named Fighter of the Year, but the title went to welterweight Carmen Basilio instead. On November 11, 1965, Robinson declared his retirement from boxing, stating, "I hate to keep campaigning for another chance." With a record of 174 wins, 19 losses, 6 draws, and 2 no contests, including 109 knockouts in 201 professional bouts, Robinson's retirement solidified his place among the boxing greats in terms of knockout achievements. In Robinson's final years, he battled Alzheimer's disease and diabetes. He passed away in Los Angeles due to heart disease on April 12, 1989, at the age of 67. Robinson was laid to rest at Inglewood Park Cemetery in Inglewood, California. Sugar Ray Robinson's story is not just one of triumph in the ring, but also of overcoming the challenges of his early life. From the streets of Harlem to the pinnacle of boxing glory, his legacy is a proof to his extraordinary talent and unconquerable spirit.